A young rookie ready to seize his moment. Justin Ryskovian, fresh, fearless, and now trusted with the top line. With all the star power around him and the stakes even higher, the only question that remains is, will he take it and run?
You're Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans. I'm Joey Erickson, Forward Producer 105 through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Locked On Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. It looks like Justin Ryskovian will get a chance to play with superstars Wyatt, Johnston, and Mikko Rantanen on the Dallas Stars top line. Can he be the catalyst for the Stars offense moving forward? We'll discuss that on today's show, as well as the power play. Can the Stars reignite that side of special teams? And we'll preview the Boston Bruins for tonight as well before we get you out of here. As always, thank you so much for loving the sport on each and every episode. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check out the Everydayer Club as well. You get an ad-free version of this podcast and an access to a Discord server for Locked On Stars, where we get in there and dive into all the nitty-gritty stuff about Dallas. But let's talk about Justin Ryskovian, who seems to be getting a crack to play alongside Wyatt, Johnston, and Mikko Rantanen. At least that's what we saw from Glenn Goldson at practice yesterday. Johnston with Ryskovian and Bastion, who was the placeholder on the right wing. Mikko Rantanen did not practice, but we can all assume Rantanen will take his rightful place at right wing alongside Johnston, and Ryskovian was on that trio. And I love this decision by Goldson to change something up. Sam Steele was not working. I know many fans were hoping to remove Sam Steele from that top line, put him down in the bottom six where he is better suited. And he was with Duchesne and Ben yesterday. But Ryskovian, I think, could be a catalyst and a spark for Dallas to the same degree that I think Logan Stankoven was a couple of years ago when the Stars eventually brought him up late in February. The Stars are going through that skid, and Stankoven came in and just gave them some juice. And I think Ritzy can do that. Of course, it's different. Ryskovian's been here since game number 1, but I believe his game and the way he's been playing is what others need to follow. And he could be a perfect example for the Stars moving forward because he shoots the puck. He's not afraid to just wire pucks on net. And if you look at the Stars this season, they still rank in the bottom third in shots on goal this season. They rank 27th in the NHL. This is via Edge Stats on NHL.com. The Stars shooting percentage is actually very good. It's number 2, but their shots on goal is number 27. We all know they get a lot of high danger chances and a lot of high danger shots. That's still true. They still rank 3rd in that area, but overall they're 27th. In the mid-range, their shot totals only 29th. Their long range, 30th. So that tells you they're just not shooting the puck as much. And Ryskovian, for the limited ice time he's had, seems to shoot the puck quite a bit, better than average. This year, Ryskovian has 48 shots in 48 games. And he plays around 12 minutes a night. And you look at others above him, he clearly plays the least amount of minutes. You got Steele above him, who's played over 16 minutes a night. He's got 99 shots. Ryskovian, or 51 shots, pardon me. And Ritzy has 48. But then you look at others like Harley. Well, he's playing 23 minutes a night. You got Bork up there. He's playing 14 minutes. He's got 79 shots. So the others that are above him, of course, are playing top 6 minutes, if not top line minutes. But Ritzy, in the moments he's had in the limited action, in a bottom 6 role, I wouldn't say limited action. That's where he's kind of been pegged, which is by nobody's fault. He's, an undrafted free agent coming in and actually, I think, being a really strong presence and one of the more effective players recently, even throughout the struggles for Dallas. So I believe he is a perfect catalyst for Dallas to maybe provide a spark, help out that top line a bit. He is really good on the forecheck, so that should help Rantanen and Johnston, who are more playmakers. Ritzy's more of a grinded out, kind of I would say along the perimeter, get to the net, goes to the tougher areas a lot better. Not that Rantanen doesn't. Obviously, he can. Gosh, when he puts the cape on, he can do anything. But it allows Ritzy to kind of maybe use the legs. He can kind of drive the play a bit with his just tenacity and the way he can just kind of buzz around, create havoc, force chaos, get the puck to his line mates, who of course know what to do with it, and go from there. So I think this is a great opportunity for him, and I hope he can seize the moment as well. And he's not your typical rookie in a lot of ways. This isn't a Wyatt Johnston situation. He's 24. He has experience under his belt. He played 4 years in college at Northeastern. So he has a lot of games. He has experience, maybe not at the NHL level as others, but we've seen it this season. He more than belongs and has earned a spot and has earned a chance, I think, to play with some of the big boys. Maverick Bourque should frankly be that guy, but we're just not seeing it again. He's not taking that step that we all hoped we would see. And I still think Bourque is a great player, does a lot of things that are not going to show up on the stat sheet, but you were hoping that he would bring offense. That's what you look for out of your middle six, top six guys. And that's just not quite what we've seen from Maverick Bourque. And Ritzy has had a solid year. 14 points in 48 games is not half bad. And Steele, for all the time he has gotten, he just has 19 points in 49 games. It's not great. And I'm a Sam Steele defender. I think more people are critical because of where he was playing. He's a good player, just not in the role that he was being sort of wedged into because of some of the injuries and whatnot. Sam Steele, he feels like a guy where he should be on the third line. And yesterday, that's where he was with Duchesne and Ben. Not many other changes. You got Hansborg, Robo, and then Beck, Faksa, and Blackwell, which has sort of been the normal combination for Dallas. But I think Ritzy's going to get a chance. It seems that way. And I love it too. I think he deserves it. At this point, nothing can get worse, it feels like. I probably shouldn't say that. It probably could. But in terms of the offense, you haven't scored more than one in the last 3 games. So let's change something up. Let's shake it up. Some big adjustments. These aren't huge overhauls, but it's something. And I look forward to watching Ritzy tonight if they do roll with the trios they went with in practice yesterday. So good for him. Like to see it. And maybe his game, more others will follow that tenacity, the edge that he's been playing with. Now, back to some of the numbers with the Stars at 5-on-5 in terms of their shots on goal. As I mentioned, they're 27th in the NHL, bottom third. Their shooting percentage is still second, but we know that's starting to come back down to earth. And yes, they still generate those quality looks. They're third in high danger chances this year, but now they're 40% in offensive zone time, which is 21st. And I can't remember the last time we looked at these on an episode, but I don't remember the Star shots on goal numbers. It's probably about 20 games in or so. I don't believe they were 27th. Feel like I would have remembered that, but they're 21st in offensive zone time. We know they're not spending a ton of time there. It's also why they're not drawing a lot of power plays lately. We'll get to that as we talk about the power play and trying to reignite itself, but they're not spending enough time in the offensive zone. And when they do, they're just not getting pucks on net. How many times do the Stars work the puck in? They may create a turnover or they carry under possession and they're around the perimeter. They're passing it a ton and they don't shoot. I think we see that a lot from the power play as well. But the zone time, it can be a sort of a tale of two swords, right? It can be a double-edged sword. That was the phrase, not the the two sides of the sword. The double-edged sword, where you can, if you spend a lot of time in the zone, that's good. But if you're not getting pucks to the net and you're not being liberal with your shooting, then what does it really mean? You're just spending time in the offensive zone for the sake of it. And that's where Dallas they have to change their approach. They can't continue to hold on to pucks and look for the perfect pass. And Ritzy, to kind of bring it full circle, is a guy that plays direct. He's direct. He's going to get the puck to the net. He is going to get the puck in the zone, whatever by means necessary. And he's going to go after it. He'll play a hard-nosed game. And we'll also get to some of those tough areas and try to get the puck there as well. Because in those limited minutes, you're not playing with Rantanen. So you can't just make 5 passes, going up the rink and try to get it through the defense. Sometimes you just got to throw it into the pot and hope something happens. And I look forward to hopefully watching Hryckowian thrive and take advantage of this opportunity. So, Ritzy, let's make it happen. Big night for you against Boston. He's not going to get some chances on the power play because the Stars have a lot of talent, but that talent and skill hasn't necessarily been rewarded with goals of late. What do the Stars have to do to get that power play back? Let's look at some of the numbers and maybe what's gone wrong in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by Game Time. There is nothing like being near the ice during hockey season. The speed, the hits, the atmosphere, it's unmatched. Watching at home is great, but being in the building is a completely different experience. The only thing that used to get in the way was actually getting tickets. Long queues, endless screens, and prices changing at checkout. And Game Time gives the advantage back to fans. That's what the Game Time app does. It's a hack for unlocking amazing NHL tickets and experiences in just a few taps. You got priority fees, which are included. You can know your total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. The app is incredible, easy to use as well. You can browse, compare, buy tickets, and it just takes minutes. They have this thing called Zone Deals, which is awesome as well. You choose a section, Game Time will pick the seats, and you get tickets for as low as $25 sometimes. So it's an easy way to plan your game night. And knowing your tickets are backed by the Game Time guarantee gives you real peace of mind. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKED, own NHL for $20 off. Hey, Locked On Stars fans, if you like Locked On Stars and you want more of it, check out the Locked On Everydayer Club for Locked On Stars. You get an ad-free version of this episode of every episode moving forward, and you get an access to a Discord server for Locked On Stars, which we have a lot of fun in there. I'm more active in there now. We're chatting about the game each and every night. It is a great time, so please be sure to check it out. You can find it in the show notes. There's some great stuff in there. It's about $5 a month, and you can continue to voice your opinion here, and maybe I'll give you a shout out if you do on the next episode. So check out the Everydayer Club. The Stars power play has taken a dip. They're still third in the NHL, but it's not quite as lethal as it was for the first 30 games or so. And I've taken a peek at some of the numbers recently since December 1st, and I think it shows and sort of hints at why the Stars power play has struggled a bit. They're not getting a ton of power plays, right? I think Victory Plus has showed the last couple games. The Stars have had the least amount of power plays given to them over the last couple of months, I think since December 1st. And I think it's pretty easy to tell why. It's because they're defending a lot and they're not generating a lot of offense at 5-on-5. And we don't have the puck on your stick and you're defending a ton. You're taking penalties instead of drawing penalties. I think it's pretty cut and dry what's kind of going on there. But the Stars are ranked 8th this season in total power plays, 141. They've, of course, scored a ton, and a lot of that was early. But you look at it recently, since December 1st, the Stars have scored 11 power play goals, which is 24th in the NHL. But you go to the expected goals for, so it kind of gives you a hint. What are they creating? Are they creating a ton? And early on in the year, they were among the best. I think top 3 in expected goals for, their expected goals percentage. Like they were creating and generating tons, even when they weren't scoring. Now that's been a bit different. They're not threatening as much, It also comes down to the lack of shot quality and just shots in general. But their expected goals for is third to last, 12.33 over that stretch. So that's 23 games. They're third to last in expected goals for. Their goals for percentage is around 7th. And it's not a great metric to use for this specifically. But for the sake of the conversation, it's there. Now, 86 scoring chances on those opportunities as well. And of course, this isn't all relative. You have to kind of factor in some teams are having more power play time. The Stars are among the last in time on ice and power play time. They're 31st in the league. So they have 86 scoring chances, which is near the bottom as well. But still, the expected goals for kind of puts everything into perspective. And that's where it's struggling. It's 30th in the NHL right now in terms of the quality of chances they're generating. So right there, I think it tells you a few things. They're not shooting the puck enough. We've seen that recently. Even at 6-on-5, which the Stars have been in quite a bit recently since they're trailing late a lot, there's so much passing around the perimeter and trying to get that clean, perfect look, which is not a bad thing. But when you have an extra defender or even extra player, sometimes get a guy in front and just throw a low shot there and crash the net instead of trying to get the clean, rink-wide 20-foot feed for a one-timer, which you can get, but it's not a high percentage shot all the time. And that's where the Stars, I think, are really struggling. It goes back to just holding on to pucks too long and not being deliberate. So that kind of shows you, along with not getting a ton of power plays, along with a lack of ice time there, but it is still, they're not making the most out of their opportunities. And 11 power play goals in their last 23 games is not great. And you can compare that to the Stars have scored. How many power play goals have they scored this year? They've scored 40. So 11 of those 40 have been scored since December 1st. You just take the first 25 games or so. That's a lot of power play goals they scored in a couple of months. And the personnel is too good. We know that. Of course, teams they're taking away Johnston now. They know that's where they want to go. Of course, he scored 15 power play goals from like 95% of them are from that slot. So there has to be an adjustment in the way they attack, which we haven't seen a ton. We did see Robo a bit on that right side, which was nice to see. I think they have gotten a bit stagnant. And Golison talked a lot about coming into the year and how they really were effective in Edmonton when he was the assistant coach and kind of being the brain behind that. A lot of movement with McDavid, a lot of movement with Draisaitl. And I don't think we're seeing that. Rantanen is kind of solely on that right circle. We're not seeing guys kind of move and be options in other spots. I wonder if he urges some of that here over the next couple of weeks. And Neil Graham, I guess, also has a hand in this. Maybe there's more movement and not sort of being stagnant and staying in one area. I think it makes it easier for teams to defend that. And we've seen it hasn't worked well for the Stars recently. But those are some numbers I wanted to share because I thought it was interesting to see that they've had issues lately trying to score. But at 5-on-4, Stars have 36 power play goals, which is fourth in the NHL. A lot of their numbers are really good if you look at, the full season, but you go to the last 20 games, again, at 5-on-4, they have 10 power play goals. They got that 10 goals at 5-on-4, includes 5-on-3, of course, in some other areas, but their expected goals for, they have it sixth here in the last 20. Again, their ice time's really low. They're among the bottom. And that stems from their 5-on-5 play because they're not skating well and they're not driving offense, and they're not forcing teams to spend a lot of time in their own zone and take penalties. Some of it is a bad whistle. I don't think the Stars have gotten very lucky with officiating recently, but I don't think they've earned the benefit of the doubt as well. So I'm not going to blame the Stripes for the Stars' ineptitude on the power play. Entries have struggled too. That's been noticeable, and Razor's pointed that out at the time. They've struggled to get in cleanly and set up shop that way. They don't attack off the rush a ton. It's try to get in with speed, curl up, drop it off to Rantanen, and kind of go from there. And teams have taken away their speed and have forced guys, I think, to be a bit more individual and try to stick handle through one or two sticks, which is just difficult and can really put the power play behind and get it stuck in neutral, which has been the case. So we'll see if the power play can figure itself out. They have to find solutions, and one of them is to just fire the puck on net, for darn sake. Just get it there and be more liberal. You'll be so much better. I promise. Stars have so much good talent in front of the net. If they get the puck there, guys can find a way to bury pucks. So we'll see if they can do that against Boston tonight. Speaking of the Bruins, let's dive into a preview of Boston coming to Dallas. It's a national TV game, and the Stars find a way to get back to themselves. We'll do that in just a minute. Always a great matchup when the Stars and Bruins meet. It's at the American Airlines Center. Tat earlier of a puck drop tonight, 6:30, and it is a nationally televised game on TNT. I'm also curious, this is a bit of a tangent, but the Stars have played on national television a couple times this year, but have also been on Victory Plus. I'm curious if some of you have noticed that, and if there's a rhyme or reason behind that, because it's being shown on NESN, which is the Victory Plus of the Bruins. So I find that a bit fascinating. Maybe if you're the away team, in some occasions, they allow the team to kind of broadcast on their home network. Anyways, has nothing to do with the game tonight, but that was something that's popped up recently, and it got me thinking. I'll have to maybe look that one up. Well, the Bruins are coming in hot. It's another team that's rolling. They're 8-1-1 their last 10, 28-19-2 overall, fourth in the Atlantic Division. Their new head coach, Marco Sturm, has them rocking and rolling. They're sixth in goals for this season, 149th in goals against, or 149 goals against, 17th in the league, not 149th. Morgan Geeky's having a breakout year for them. 25 goals this season. He's got 42 points. He's having a great year alongside David Pastrnak, who I think is also a Stars killer. Pasta's got 59 points this season and 20 goals. The Stars played the Bruins a couple times last year. I guess they play them every year a couple times, but the Bruins were slow. That's what always stuck out to me when the Stars played the Bruins. I think they played them pretty closely together. If I recall, this is the first meeting. So you're, of course, going to get the best of the Bruins. They're playing some of their best hockey right now. But last year, that was always my impression. Like, they're heavy, they're physical, they're kind of slow, and the Stars' speed really got the better of them. Now, I haven't watched them play, I don't think, at all this year, maybe a couple times. So I'm fascinated to see how they kind of get along. It's a lot of the same personnel, but they did make moves. Casey Middlestat, Arvidsson, they did get younger. They got faster. Hustadinov was from Minnesota that had a couple good years. They still have like their big guys on the back end with Zadorov, Lindholm. Tanner Jeannot was kind of the big offseason acquisition. Only 18 points in 45 games this season. And they've been able to win games. Like, that's just what they've just grinded out games this year. They're kind of similar at 5-on-5 to Dallas. If you look at some of the numbers, if you go to the expected goals percentage, they're really similar to Dallas. Dallas is 22nd Boston's in there at 16. The Corsi percentage, very similar. Again, I think the Stars actually may match up pretty closely with Boston. But the Bruins are a pretty shot-heavy team. They do throw pucks to the blue paint. That's where they've done a majority of their offense, like in tight. They can get to the net and be physical that way. Their 3.31 goals per game is 8th. Stars are kind of right there. Stars are a better defensive team, at least in terms of goals against average. But we know the Stars have certainly been leaky more than they would want to be over the last couple of weeks. I think this is going to be a really tough. I think it's going to be a tough game. I hope Dallas has a spark. I don't care if Dallas loses this game in a lot of ways. I have to see an approach and a mindset that will lend itself to being productive more than we've seen, because I don't like to see what kind of the effort is. And maybe it's not the effort as much as I don't know what the Stars kind of are right now. And that is very concerning at this point in time. I don't know who they are. And Jeremy Swayman's having a great year for them in net. And we can't have the debacle that was the other night against Tampa, down a couple goals, and you get 2 shots in the third period. So you should never have 2 shots in the third period, or in any period, let alone in the third when you're trailing by 2. So the Stars are going to have to, they're going to have to be prepared, and they haven't looked all that prepared during this kind of stretch. So let's hope we see something. And Boston, since December, 57 goals at 5-on-5. That's second in the NHL. Since December 1st. So yes, they are coming in hot and heavy, hot and ready to go. 13 wins in 22 games. And a lot of those are recent. They got 8 in their last 10. So they will be an absolute problem for Dallas tonight if they continue to play the way they were. And I hope Dallas can move the puck more efficiently tonight. And it would be nice if they can create off the rush a touch, because the dump and chase, there's been a lot of that, and there's not a lot of chase. There's a lot of dump and get off to get the next line out there because you're exhausted by defending as much as they have been. And they've got to spend time away from Otter or DeSmith, who are being tasked with being nearly perfect right now. It's just kind of where the Stars are. And it's not a recipe for success. We certainly know that. And Pasta's got 10 points in his last 5 games, by the way. And Hustadinov's got 6 goals. So, yeah. Man, they beat some good teams. They've won 5 in a row, or 6 in a row, pardon me. So, yeah, going to be intriguing. That's for sure. Going to be an intriguing one at the AAC. TNT, 6:30 puck drop, which I like. It's the early game instead of the late. I feel like the Stars always play the late game. And the early game always goes to overtime. So maybe an overtime game. And Stars get a point. Hopefully a full 2. I'm going to put a prediction out there. Player of the game, Miro Heiskanen. Give me more Miro. Miro puts the team on his back. I like a goal out of number 4. Miro's the guy. Had a bit of a tough one the other night. First game back. Maybe has some rust. Missed the last couple because of the family matter. He's backed himself and buries the Bruins. That's what I'm hoping for. All righty, going to be a good one, Stars fans. It usually is when those two teams meet. Stars, gosh, they need a win so badly. It's the understatement of 2026 right now. That will do it for today's episode. Thank you so much. I think we broke down a lot of good stuff today. I think we we made some progress. If you can do that on a podcast. Check out the Everyday Club, by the way. Once again, in the show notes below, you can find it, and you get an ad-free version of this episode. Locked On Stars Discord server. It's a lot of good stuff. Please join me there. It'll be a lot of fun, and we can continue to chat about Stars hockey each and every day. We'll see you tomorrow, Stars fans. Have a great rest of your day, and so long.